Hey, listen to me. If I was single right now, I'll break the internet. What I mean by that is, if I was one of these single men, I'll be honest with you. I go out here and I pick me somebody that ain't nobody paying attention to. The problem with y'all singles is y'all trying to choose somebody that other people going to like instead of somebody that you can like. I remember this happened the other day. This happened all the time, and I want you to think about this. A lot of times we like things because other people like it. So, I'm gonna make an example for you. I asked my son, what kind of car you like? You know, your birthday coming up, what kind of car you like? Do you know that boy ain't like no kind of car? He couldn't think of no car. The first time he said a car, he said a Trackhawk. You know why? Because it's in a rap song about a Trackhawk go fast or something like that. Then he only could think of cars that I done had. Then he texted his friend who loved cars. His friend gave him his list of his dream cars. So my son come talk to me about BMW X6 competition. I'm like, boy, you don't even know what M competition is. And do you know that thing is fast? You can't even drive. And so, I ain't know that. So eventually I end up asking a partner of mine, and he gave me an idea. He told me that he had an Audi A6, and that it was said to be the safest car around. And so I went up to Audi, and that's how I came out with the Audi A5. And it ain't my son's car yet, it's my car. You know, before I really give it all the way to him, like before he could actually drive it, I'm gonna have to add him to the insurance. But it's not his car yet. But it made me think about, this is how a lot of singles are picking their mate. You're picking your mate based on what somebody else likes. What other people say is nice. Now sometimes this don't always work. Because sometimes you'll see people that people do not put on a pedestal. They do not like look up to them. They do not say, hey, this person is absolutely gorgeous. And those people will be rude and nasty. And that's why I always say, you can't be broke and arrogant. You can't be looks challenged and arrogant. Some things don't go together. And so, if you meet somebody who is on the wrong side of things, and they rude or they arrogant, now you're going to have a big problem on your hand. But at the same time, now you might meet somebody who does not know their worth. They don't know how good they look. They don't know how smart they are. They don't know how valuable they are. And if that's the case, then hey, you on to something. You speak into that person's life and you let them know. And what I really want y'all singles to do, and listen, it ain't for everybody. I did a video earlier, and there was a lady, she was talking about what she said. She said, oh, women, if men want to test women. She was referring to me talking about men testing women. How they may pull up in their old car. Or they may, you know, do something to look like they broke or whatever. Or they don't have all the money that they got. She was like, well, a good woman should go to a date in a fat suit and see what the man gonna do. And you know what? You should. That'll be a good lesson to him. But it's not equivalent. Because if you go in what she called the fat suit, and you ain't got no story of, you know, no journey, what you doing, how you working, then you sending the wrong message. Whereas if a man pull up in a Honda Civic, but he has a Mercedes S-Class, That Honda still is a good car, and it's point A to point B. But if you come up and you got on the fat suit and you're not talking about, how you are now health conscious, and you watching what you eat, and you working out and all of that, but you just come up and show a life of complacency with no goals or aspiration and trying to grow and get better, now you're not showing the equivalent. But now if you go and you could show, and you kind, you well spoken, meaning you know how to take turns talking, you're not rude and condescending, you're not cursing, you're nice, you listen well, you got all the attributes. If that man pass up on you, then guess what? That's his loss. Then what you take and do is he might cut you off. Reach out to him. Hey, it was something. I just want to know if we can link up one more time. Hey, y'all ought to do that now. You ought to do it. I say, hey, want to know if we can link up one more time. I got something to give you. It's something that I had for you that I didn't get to give you. Hey, man ain't gonna turn out no gift now. If he turn out a gift, he real vain. And you pull up on him without your suit on, without the suit that the lady was talking about. I don't like using the word fat. I don't like that. That's just, it's just derogatory and condescending, and just, I do not like the word, man. I don't like the word. I'd rather say, voluptuous or full figured, or, meat on your bones. Something else, it's just a derogatory term. So you pull up without your voluptuous suit on. Boom. Whoa, hold on. Are you the same person? Yeah, that was me. I honestly just wanted to see, hey, that's a YouTube channel. But see, hold on now. First, we need to make sure that you are considered a looker now. Because listen, some of us love ourselves. Because see, you see right here, the wrinkle in my forehead. You see these bags under my eyes. I'm not finna, you see how puffy my cheeks is? I'm not finna walk around here and think I'm Gigolo Fabio. No, I'm going to say, okay, Tony, you look barely decent. You look okay. But ain't no woman breaking her neck now. Okay, I understand that. So I ain't finna be all like that. But some women be a little delusional and be acting like, and it's like, hold on now, sister, listen now. Okay, you ain't bad looking now, but you walk around acting like the best thing since sliced bread. Now calm down now. Pump your brakes. So now, hey, let's do us a social experiment. I might set it up on my channel. That thing finna be good. Hey, thank you. Because actually the lady who left in the comments was a troll. She had a fake picture, and she left another derogatory statement talking about character don't pay bills. And that's the same stupid stuff that when people say love don't pay bills. And what you don't realize is that bill paying come from character. That bill paying can come from character. Bill paying can come from love. Because when you're a good person with character and love, you gonna learn how to make money. Money gonna be a byproduct of your lifestyle eventually. It just may take longer than other people who just greedy and just all the focus on money. Hey, I might find me somebody. I'm gonna find me a young lady, and I'm gonna put her in one of them suits and set her up on blind dates with single men. And we're gonna set up the first date, and then we're gonna set up a second date. I just want to see what's said. That's a good lesson though. But see, that's the thing, me knowing that, it's just like the Bible tell you, be careful how you treat people, because you could be entertaining an angel unaware. So if I was a single man, I'd be trying to do the opposite. Instead of chasing lust and trying to get a woman just off of societal beauty standards, I would be very intentional about this woman's heart. What is her heart like? What is her conversation like? Where is her mindset? Because everything else could be worked on. Everything else could be changed. If that woman, my wife was telling me that instead of a nose job, now they got filler, nose filler. That they could put filler in your nose in different ways and give you the shape you want. Showed me this other thing where they could put filler here and kind of take that chin, cut off that little piece of chin that's hanging. They doing arm lipo, where they take and stick the needle in here and in there, and you awake, and they just chisel around that muscle. See how a little bit of muscle right there? They'll take and chisel around that muscle, get all that excess, and you go from a arm that got movement to Michelle Obama arm when her and Barack was in office. I don't know how arm is now. That literally, we all know about lipo. We all know about gastric bypass. We all know about the med, the shots that people get. Like, people changing everything. And yes, you might not be with that stuff, but listen, man, it's school teachers, it's pastors' wives, it's nuns getting lipo. Listen, we in a new world today, so it's like all the physical, all the external could be changed. All the external could be changed. I got a client right now who is single. She's single and she not dealing with men. She was in a relationship. She broke up with the guy. She have meat on her bones, but she don't want her no man with meat on her bones. She want a man to be, built about my size. But she have meat on her bones. But when I tell you this client, any man she get with, she'll make that man worth $10 million in a matter of probably 5 years if he lock in and follow her plan. It's too deep for me. She give me all this. It's too deep. I'm like, child, I ain't got time. I stay broke. I'm not finna be doing all the paperwork and doing all that. No. And I am not finna. No, I ain't got time. I don't care that much. But it's a lot of men out here who care that much. But they will overlook her. They will overlook her because society is not promoting her as the Instagram model, as the lead actress in the movie. They'll overlook her. They'll overlook her, not realizing that all that external and all of that, that's fleeting. That's here and there. That's it changes. It come and go. And a lot of times people don't understand that. It look like the light side. So I wonder, because my son was over there on the field. It looked like the lights weren't on. So I want you to understand. And I know, and let's put some money on it. Let's put some money on it now. I know already we finna have a bunch of people in the comments. Well, Tony, I tried that and still got cheated on. I tried that and still got dogged out. I tried to talk to Lil Ugly and he still did me wrong. Listen, like I said, it ain't gonna be, it ain't gonna work out all the time. Now, hold on now. What now? Now, hold on now. Y'all see me? Okay, y'all go ahead now. I'm trying to cut crawl. And so, it ain't gonna work out all the time, but that's why I'm saying you evaluate the heart. Just because somebody might not have the body you would expect does not mean they automatically gonna be a good person. But see, what happens is sometimes this person who may not have the look that society is promoting, they have a different humility. They're empathetic because they know what it feels like to be bullied, to be mistreated. They know what it feels like. So that makes them empathetic. That makes them respectful, kind, patient, loving, because they've been the underdog. They've been hurt. They've been mistreated. They've been dogged out. They've gone through things that my son ran a mile before practice. So I'm looking at him to see, oh, he just scored a goal. Okay. I'm looking at him to see how he doing at practice, because like, man, you can't be running a mile before practice then coming out here trying to practice, talking about he's gonna run a mile every day. He practiced 4 out of 5 days. So listen, this is what I do, man, and I'm telling you, because our society is too vain. Like, I got a homeboy. He's probably 5'8", 5'9", and he may be 350 or more. He could be 375, 400. But this man got 2 kids with his wife. He got one son from his first marriage. And his son from his first marriage is just turned 19, I think, today. And he's still loving that boy. He's still living with him. He let his son live with him, his son working. He figuring out life. He getting things together. And this right here is, and then he got 2 daughters with his wife. He 100% faithful. The most men like me and him gonna be guilty of is laying eyes on those set of hams and have to repent. But you ain't got to worry about him not coming home, him having an affair, having another woman texting your phone. But guess what? He working out. He working out every day. He working all day long. He drive his wife to work, drop her off, and drop the kids off if they got school. Then he drive to work, go to work, get off work, go pick up his wife, go pick up his kids, drive them home, get them home, then leave home and go work out at night with a bodybuilder, trying to eat right, work out right, but 100% faithful. Treat his woman like a queen. She ain't got no complaints. He working. He got a full-time job. Then he work with me on the side, does my security. And he blessed and highly favored because of how he carries himself. He don't have a single enemy. But guess what? Before he got with his wife, who happens to be a Caucasian woman, the Caucasian woman, and this what the argument for people who go to other races, the Caucasian woman saw his value. She saw his heart. She didn't pay attention to his weight. She saw his heart. She saw how kind he was. She saw how patient he was. She saw that he will give the shirt off his back. She saw that he doesn't argue at anybody. He don't yell at anybody. He don't talk down to anybody. If somebody on the side of the road, I'll drive past them, he want to stop and get out and go help them push their car. They done ran out of gas. He got a big heart. It don't mean he can't snap now. But if he snap, it's going to be well worth it. But I've never seen him snap. Never seen him snap. Done known him for probably 15 years. I ain't never seen him snap. Never. Never seen him go off on anybody. Never seen him get mad at a waiter. He done saw me rip somebody a new one. I ain't never seen it happen with him. Never. But see, it's so many women that right before him, his heart was absolutely crushed and trampled on by 2 black women who now neither one of them ain't got nothing to show for nothing. They ain't got no man. Now here it is, a white woman who he was with his white wife one day at the Red Box. They was renting a movie, and he say the black lady walked out the store and she walked past them and she said, "I hate you, black man." And he was like, "What in the world?" And there was a man behind him, and he was like, "Who's she talking to? She talking to you?" And he said, the man was like, "I think she talking to you, bro." Because he's with she was his girlfriend at the time. He with a white woman. So here this black woman giving him hate. And that's what I say about black women who go into white men. If you go to white men because you've been dogged out and you've been treated like crap, and you meet a white man and he treats you amazing, hey, glory be to God. God bless you. More power to you. My problem is when people pick a certain race thinking that that race is superior. See, when my homeboy got with the white young lady, he maybe have told her now, but he didn't want to be with her. He did not want to do that. His mom and daddy is black. He didn't want to be with a white woman. So he literally like made her wait. And she was there and she was faithful. She was consistent. He made her wait. They dated for years. Years. Over 3, 4, 5 years. They dated. And then he eventually proposed and they got married. And this was with him being around me, traveling with me and everything. And I'm like, bro, you hear me doing this message, telling women if a man ain't married you by 3 years, he ain't about you. And you is screening this woman out. And I started telling him, I said, man, you might as well, hey, you better marry that woman, boy. Better marry that woman. I said, I don't know what you waiting on, man. Man, I got to see if she the one, man. You know why he was like that? Because his heart had been trampled on by black women. By the other women. You know why? Because they was trapped. They was caught in superficiality. They was caught in, oh, he ain't tall enough. Oh, he ain't fit enough. And then you got to ask yourself, at the end of the day, do you want a man that you could rub and lick on his abs, but he'll punch you in your eye? Do you want a man who got abs, but he cuss you out? You want a man who he fit, but he dog you out, disrespect you? Because it's very rare that you're going to get it all. Very rare that you're going to get it all. Now, see, me, I try to give my wife everything, but my wife is Jamaican. So, and they different. So they used to tough love. They used to tough love. They used to directness. It's a real people. It's a real culture. Ain't nobody no suckers. So I can't, my wife ain't the type that you could just straight out spoil her. Because, you know, you be out of house and home. But at the same time, if I'm flat broke and I ain't got nothing, she right there with me with a smile on her face. But if I got $1 million and I spend it on her, hey, she ain't finna turn it down. So I have to strike a balance. I have to strike a balance. But you rarely gonna have it all though. And my wife will tell you though. My wife will tell you, I'm a handful. She'll tell you. She will tell you one thing about her husband is I'm gonna read you left to right now. If I don't like something, I'm gonna let you know. If I ain't with something, if I feel a certain way, you gonna know it. Whereas like with my homeboy, His woman ain't never really got to worry about him being overly expressive and him, sitting down and want to have an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour talk. She ain't got to worry about that. And a lot of women say, oh, I want him to communicate more. I want him to communicate. Trust me, from a man who communicate, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. You rather man be just by action. You'd rather man take his problems to God, deal with his problems with God, and leave you alone. And don't bring all of it to you and put it all on your shoulders. You'd rather him go to God. And that's what I have to learn how to do. That's what I had to I got to be very intentional. Because when you articulate and you communicative, you could get caught in that trap of over communicating, over expressing. And sometimes it's just like, hey, you just got to take that to God. Pray on it, pray about it, and then change your action, change your ways, change the way you moving. And it ain't easy. So listen to me. I want y'all to realize and understand what I'm telling you now. And get this in your spirit now. Really get this in your spirit. Men and women, you got to start looking for something different. You got to start looking at the opposite. Look at the opposite. Yes, you still got to be strict. Yes, you still got to have standards and boundaries, principles, morals, values. Yes, because yes, you could take somebody, and a person who is very nice can become a monster. A person can become selfish. A person can become lazy. Even though they empathetic, even though they got a good heart, they could become entitled and lazy. So yeah, you still got to check them, but you need to work from a different angle. Start looking at things a little differently. Instead of just being superficial and just saying, oh, I want what the world says is handsome. So if that man 5'4" and he's a great guy, I know a guy who probably 5'6", he probably 5'4" to 5'6". I know a man right now, and his wife is pretty, his sons are handsome and athletic, and he is a family man. That man go to work, that man pay bills, that man take care of his family. They get to travel and see the world. He love on his wife. He kind. He's loving. He's gentle. He's everything that you want a man to be. But he probably 5'4" to 5'6". And I guarantee you, if he was single today, every woman will be walking right past him, not even realizing what he made of, not even realize the type of man he is. So listen, if you have a heart after God, then you have to look at people the way God look at people. God don't care nothing about how a person's face look, how their body is shaped, how tall they are, how much money they have. God look at one thing and one thing only, and that's their heart. The heart is going to tell you their intentions. Their heart is going to tell you their makeup. Their heart is going to tell you who they are and who they aren't. And that's the only thing that God look at. Everything else could be changed. Everything else. A person can lose weight. Now, they can get taller. But you cannot get caught up caring about other people looking at your man and say, ooh, her husband's short. Or looking at your woman and say, ooh, his wife tall? Oh, You can't get caught up in what other people are thinking and saying. You have to find love for you. You got to find love for you. And I'm going to tell you, the people who get past societal norms, who get past society's beauty standards, and just look at people for who they are, at their heart, at their core, those are the people who get married and stay married and are happy. You rarely see people who win in a beauty contest stay married. Now, what's the lady name? Is it Nicole Ari Parker and Boris Kojo? Are they together, or is somebody else? That right there, where you see a man that women desire, you see a woman that men desire, and they together, and I'm talking about on a high level, that people really, really put on a high level and praise them. they together and still together, that's rare. That's rare. That's rare. So don't say, oh, because they did it. Because even Beyonce and Jay-Z ain't no looker. He say ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I be doggone. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if you let these women tell it, you one of them. Jay-Z, God bless you though. Hey, keep your head up, man. Stay positive. But hey, call a spade now. Call a spade now. And let these men know, hey, if you wanna look like me and get a woman like Beyonce, boy, get your bag up. But at the same time, Jay-Z might be a real sweet person to Beyonce. He might be very sweet and attentive and thoughtful. Probably had the best gifts, the best rollout for the gifts and everything. She probably like, man, I was with a very handsome man before him and he ain't do none of this. Or she could have just looked at it and say, man, who else gonna understand my lifestyle? Like, who else can I trust that is not with me for the money and the fame? Like, this man got his own. He bringing his own to the table. Like, I ain't got to worry about him using me. Like some of the other celebrity women, men be doing them. So she probably also looked at it like that and was like, listen, I got to be realistic about this. So it's like sometimes you got to choose other ways. But again, yeah, he got money, but that don't mean nothing though, because he in the same industry that he was with Damon Dash. Damon Dash ain't got his money. He was with, Beanie Siegel and them and all these different people. Them people ain't got money. So she still took a gamble because rap money ain't forever. It's only certain ones. And yes, she could have assumed like, yeah, okay. Or she could have said, hey, because of me, he never gonna go broke, because if all we got to do it, if I need to do an album or a tour with him, he gonna eat. But still, I say all that to say, it still was some concessions made. So I want you to realize and understand and pay attention to how things happen. And I know, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, we all make concessions. Like, the order to be married and to stay married, we making concessions. And I want you to look at couples. I want you to look at couples that's together and that's happy. Concessions have been made. Like, the woman may not have the body. The man may not have the body. The man may not have the height. The woman may have too much of the height. Somebody may have an overbite. Somebody may have a gap. Somebody may have, acne. The man may have receding hairline. The woman may have receding hairline, missing her edges. It's different concessions being made. And that needs to be understood. It needs to be understood that you rarely see. Because at the same time, like, even when you look at people that you think are a woman you think beautiful and a man you think is handsome, you don't know what other concessions are being made. God do not give us everything. So even like with Boris Kodjoe, he done lost his hair. Yeah, he wear the bald head and it fitted, but we don't know what other concession. We don't know if what's below the waist could be lacking, or it could be breath, it could be attitude. It's concessions being made. But hey, this Tony Gasson. How you feeling, buddy?
Good.
Want y'all to think about this thing and really get this in your spirit and think about, are you being superficial, and is that why you still single? Because like I was talking to a good single guy the other day, and he liked this woman. He like a woman that I know, one of my mentees, one of my clients. He like her, and I'm like, bro, you realize that woman right there, she really on the level of a 6'4" man. Like, she date NBA players. You 5'7", 5'8", bruh. So if you want to try to get a woman who got all these kind of options, you might stay single. There's a lot of women out here that's 5'3", 5'4", that's beautiful, that'll make you feel like a man. Cause even when they put on heels, they still ain't taller than you. But you want a woman who 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", and you 5'7", 5'8", when she put on heels, she looking at the crown of your head, and then you want to wonder why you're single. Well, that is why. Because you're trying to date out your league. But if you get a woman that she'll be happy, she'll feel secure with your height, now you hitting on something. Now you hitting on something. Now you can make something happen. And that's what people don't understand. I talk to women all the time. Oh, I want a man like this right here. Yeah, I know you want a man like that right there, but he don't want you. He don't want you. So you can't be built like a Big Mike, and then you want a man who built like a cheeseburger. And this go vice versa. Because we have to understand, okay, if I'm right here in my life and this is where I'm gonna stay, then I can't say, oh, well, I don't want me. And that's the thing that a lot of people say to me, and it's just confusing to me. And they be like, well, man, well, I know I'm this, but I don't want that. I'm like, how don't you want you? Like, if you don't want you, what make you think somebody else gonna want you? So become what you want to be, or you have to see the heart in somebody else just like you want them to see the heart in you. So if you say, hey, I'm not tall enough, or I'm not slim enough, or I'm not thick enough, or I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, and you want them to be able to see that in you, see your heart, you got to see their heart. And that's what I want you to understand. So, hey, this Tony Gasson got to drive. They're pulling off. God bless you. Then y'all forgive me now for being real and raw with you. But I want you to just be honest with yourself and just really sit with this. And sometimes when you feel like commenting to argue, that means something stepped on your toes and it ruffled your feathers. So sit there and really analyze it. You ain't got to go back and forth with me. You ain't got to go back and forth with me. Sit there and go back and forth with yourself and really analyze that thing. And get down, you know, in your spirit with it. But hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.